Hello, dear yogis. My name is Ulrika, for those of you that don't know me. I'll be teaching a Vinyasa flow class tonight, so welcome to my YouTube studio if you wish. It could be helpful to have a little towel nearby. It just is nice to maybe pad it up for the knees a little bit from time to time. And if you have perhaps a pillow or a little blanket to sit up a little bit higher on, that's also good. We are going to get started. So let's come to the yoga mat. Sit up a little bit higher on something if you find that's comfortable. So of course, because I do a lot of yoga, I have a bunch of these blocks at home. They're super useful to have. They're very sturdy. I guess you could sit on a book and sit on that. Or you can simply just sit on your heels if you want to. I do want us to fold the knees in though, so that the feet are pointing back and the knees are pointing forward. And we're going to start here a little bit with just loosening up the spine, the shoulders, warming up the arms. So stretch your arms out to the sides. Turn the palms to face forward. And you're going to lift the head up a little bit. And then we're going to do the exact opposite. So roll the arms the other way around. Start to close, turning the thumbs down. And maybe the chin comes to the chest. Rotating up again, opening. And rotating to close. This is all we're going to be doing by now. So imagine very small. So every time you rotate up, the chest lifts up and lifts forward. And every time you rotate and you close, instead you're opening up between the shoulder blades in the back. So keep that going. Don't worry if the arms are starting to get a little bit tired. That's normal. Just a few more rotations like this. And of course, if there is pain, tension, anything that starts to creep in, you are free at any moment to just shake the arms out a little bit and then lift them back up again. So we do another opening up. And we do another closing. Try to keep the fingers. I know we're just going to do one more. One more of this. Sit upright. Opening. And closing. Very good. And then you can take your arms out, shake them out a little bit. And then you can hop down. If you were sitting on a block, you can hop down from your block for a moment. And then I want you to line up your hands. So the heel of the hand kind of line with the knees on either side. And from here, we're going to lift the chest a little bit forward, arching in the back. And then we're going to round between the shoulder blades, push into the tops of the feet, and draw the knees up to the chest. And then bring the knees back down, inhaling to reach forward. And exhaling to round. Again, knees down, inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, round, really pull the knees up into the chest. We'll do one more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Very good. And then you can hop up on whatever it was that you were sitting on again, simply just for comfort, right? And we're going to take the arms up into cactus arms. And now I want you to make sad cactus, moving out to the sides. And try to keep the arms as far away from one another as possible. So not keeping the arms close here, but try to really open them wide, right? Keep the head in a neutral. Navel in. Good. Couple more rounds like this. Very nice. And then the next time your right hand is up and your left hand is down, try to keep it there. Now, we're going to start to bring the hands behind the back, but I don't want your hands to touch anything. I don't want your left hand to touch your lower back. I don't want your right hand to touch the back of your head. So start to move the hands a little bit closer. So right arm goes up, left arm goes back. Nothing is touching the back. Nothing is touching the back. The elbows lift far away from one another. Draw the belly in. Keep holding it. I know this is really hard, just a small movement. And then you're allowed to place the right fingertips between your shoulder blades and let the back of the left hand come to rest wherever. It's lower back, but see if you can maybe try to bring the hands a little bit closer together and stay on the right fingertips here. Good. Take one more inhale. And exhale, and then slowly come out of the situation. Good. Are you with me? Let's do the other side. So now lift. Where were we? Left hand up and the right hand down. Okay, and then from here, we try again without moving. The hands are not going to touch anything. Keep the hands far away from the head and the lower back. Just start to lifting that left elbow up. Start to rotating the right hand down. Not touching, not touching, not touching. Hold it. And then bring the left fingertips to the back. Bring the back of the right hand to the back. Keep lifting the elbows away from one another. Keep sitting upright. Take another inhale here. And exhale. Or if you were sitting on something, take the heel of the hands again to the front of the knees, or to the side of the knees really, but in line with the knees. Inhale, draw your chest forward. Exhale, round, pull the knees up to the chest. Back down, inhaling, rolling forward. Exhale, round. Two more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Really pull the knees close to your face. Pull, 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 pull. Good. And then come back down. Now let's come forward to all fours. So keep the knees below the hips. We're going to walk far forward with our hands, really far forward, but the hips are going to stay on top of the knees the whole time. And then start to lower your head down to the ground. You can even bring the forearms down, the elbows down, opening for the armpits, the chest, the upper body in general. Stay here for a little bit longer. The forehead on the ground, but just lift up onto your fingertips. So lift the arms away from the floor. Lift the elbows away from the floor. Keeping this a really nice and long stretch for the arms, for the chest, for the shoulders. Hands back. Place the hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes under. We're going to lift up to the first downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, the hips, the bum is the highest point. And the hands and the feet are the lowest point. Keep your head or your ears in line with the upper arms. And from here you can freestyle it a little bit. Usually people have something that they really like to do in downward facing dog when they get there. So it can be walking it out a little bit. It can be rolling forward to plank and back again. You can even shake out one arm and shake out the other one. And then eventually we come into a place where it feels like we've found our downward facing dog. It feels just a little bit better, a little bit easier to hold the pose. Now from there, I want you to lift your right leg up and behind you. And then come forward to plank. Draw the right knee to the right elbow. And listen up. Draw it to the left elbow. Back to the right elbow. And then send it up into the air again. And then place the right foot on the floor. Lift the left leg up. Left knee to left elbow. Hold. Move it over to the right. Forward to plank. Do an easy roll down, knees, hips, belly, chest, bending the elbows. Release the toes. Draw the shoulders. So make a circle with the shoulders. So draw them forward up to the ears and back. And then press into the hands. Lift up into cobra. Roll back down to the ground. Press up over hands and knees. And back to downward facing dog. Very good. Let's take the knees down to the ground for a moment. Sink into child's pose. Bum comes towards the heels. Head is on the ground. The arms are relaxed. And this is really just for you to get to know child's pose. If you've never done yoga before, this is the resting pose of yoga. You can always come here whenever during the class. Just sink into child's pose, take a few deep breaths, find your rhythm, find your balance before you join back into the class again. So take a few deep inhales and exhales here. Relaxing the body as much as you can in this pose. I don't know exactly what you're doing. Maybe you're cooking dinner for all I know. But from time to time, I might pretend that I can see you. But anyway, take good care of yourselves. Always come to child's pose when it feels a little bit too challenging. Very good. And then push up to all fours again. Tucking the toes under, lifting downward facing dog. Take an inhale in down dog and then walk, exhale, fold. Coming up to standing inhale and take the hands to the heart. Exhale. Reach the arms up, inhale and fold down. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, downward facing dog. Exhale. Come forward to plank, inhale. Knees, hips, belly, chest, roll down to the floor. Cobra, make a circle with the shoulders and then draw into the hands, claw yourself forward. Roll back to the ground. Push up over hands and knees, inhale. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Lift the right leg up behind you. Step the right foot forward, all the way up. Bring the right heel to below the right knee. And then take your right hand to the inside of the right foot. So wiggle the right foot a little bit further out to the side. And then, let me face forward. Hello. Let me face forward. Keep the right knee pushing into the right arm and the right arm pushing into the right knee. Stay here. Be strong in this pose. Draw the right side of the shoulder, right side of the hip a little bit back and the left side of the hip a little bit forward. Good. From here, start to walk your hands really far forward. Lift your hips up a little bit higher and fold your head down a bit lower. You can stay up onto the fingertips in this pose just to make it a little bit longer. But if that's difficult, just place the hands flat on the ground. But do try to keep the hips up a bit higher. push into the back foot. And now the right knee is most likely touching on the side of the right armpit. So squeeze the right knee into the side. And then walk your hands back. Wiggle the right foot more into the middle. See if you can stay low with your hips and just step back to plank pose. Good. Take an inhale in plank pose. Knees, hips, belly, chest down. Roll the shoulders. Lift up to cobra. Inhale. Back to the ground. Exhale. Over hands and knees. Inhale. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg lifts up. Left foot steps forward. Help it up if it doesn't get there. And press the left knee into the left arm. And press the left arm into the left knee. Good. And then start to walk your hands far forward, lifting the hips up a little bit more. So walking the hands as far forward as you can, staying long and straight in the right leg. And now the left knee is going to push into the side of the left armpit. Maybe you can stay up onto your fingertips. Otherwise, bring the whole hand down. And then walk your hands back. Wiggle the left foot into the center. Place your hands on either side. Try to stay low with the hips and step back to plank. Inhale in plank. Knees, hips, belly, chest. Just because we're taking it a bit easy today. Roll the shoulders. Draw the hands back and lift the chest up. Back to the ground. Press up over hands and knees. And downward facing dog. Inhale it, down dog. And then walk the feet up to the hands. Inhale, lift halfway up. And exhale, fold. Stay in your forward fold. Hold on to the opposite elbow. And move from side to side. Knees, legs can be straight, or they can be bent, or anywhere in between. Letting the head hang. Good, and then release the hands down to the ground. Or roll all the way up to standing, arms go out wide. Take hands to the heart. Again, open the arms wide, inhale. You're doing great. Exhale, fold. Hands to below the knees, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Come to plank. Inhale, knees, hips, belly, chest down, exhale. And then roll the shoulders once, draw yourself up to cobra, inhale. Exhale back to the ground, inhale to all fours, and exhale to down dog. Lift the right leg up behind you, step the right foot forward, blanket that you can put underneath that left knee. And then walk your hands up onto your right knee. And then sink back a little bit more with your hips. So this time, it's actually okay for the right heel to not be below the right knee for what we're going to be doing right now. Okay, now I want you to have an energetic action here of drawing the right foot back and pulling the left knee forward. So it's like a scissoring action going on here. Take your arms up above your head, hold on to the opposite elbow. Now keep drawing the right foot back. Keep trying to pull the left knee forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch at the top of the left leg. And then from here, we're going to do a little back bend. Don't just lean back. Lift up, 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 foot back and the left knee forward. A little back bend here. Inhale. And then come back up to center. Take your hands down to the ground. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back leg up. And then for a moment, just come up onto your fingertips. Again, try to draw the right hip back and the left hip a little bit forward. Reach the arms back, look straight down. And then inhale here, hands back to the ground, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Roll down to the ground, knees, hips, belly, chest. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Cobra. Exhale back to the ground. Push up over hands and knees. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Lift the left leg up behind you. Step it forward. Take the right knee down to the ground. Pad it up a little bit. You can fold your yoga mat as well. Walk up onto that left knee. Okay, and then draw your hips and your upper body a little bit back so that your torso is actually right above the right knee. Take your arms up. Hold the elbows the other way around. So find something that feels really uncomfortable, holding the elbows. That means you're doing it the other way around. Now draw the left foot back. Try to draw the right knee forward. Start feeling the stretch that goes into the top of the right leg. And then from here, we try to lift from the crown of the head. And we try to lift up and we try to get long. And then we lean back a little bit. Keep holding your head in space. Center. Release the hands down. Tuck the right toes under. Straighten the back leg. Hold it here. Come up onto your fingertips. And then reach the arms back. Look straight down. And take an inhale here. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Rolling forward to plank. Knees, hips, belly, chest rolls down to the floor. Make a circle with the shoulders. Cobra, point the elbows back. Roll back down to the ground. Push up over hands and knees. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale and down dog. Walk the feet up to the hands as you exhale. Inhale, draw the fingertips below the knees. Exhale, fold. Coming up to standing inhale. And take the hands to the heart. Exhale. And then lift the arms up again. Inhale. Fold down to the ground. Exhale. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Downward facing dog is optional. So you can skip it for now if you want to. You can go and get a drink. You can just stay in downward facing dog if you want to. But anyone who feels like they have, coming into downward facing dog, we're going to lift the right leg up behind us. And we're going to step the right foot forward. This time we stay onto the left toes. And we reach the arms forward and up. Coming into a pose called crescent pose. And then bring a little bit of a bend into the back leg, right? And then we're going to take the hands behind the back. I want you to clasp the hands, draw the elbows together, then straighten the arms away from the back, away from the bum, and then a little back bend here again. If you want to straighten the front leg a little bit more as you're doing this and bending the back knee a little bit more, feel free to do that. Maybe you're looking up. Maybe you keep your head looking forward. Take an inhale here. And then release the hands. Lift the arms up. Straight up above the head. Bend the front knee a little bit more. Inhale here. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. And again, Vinyasa is optional. You can also do a little bit of a quick child's pose in between, if that is something that feels good to you. And then we do the other side, left leg up, left foot forward, reach the arms up. Good, and then again, bring a bend into the back leg. This time, we're going to keep the arms up. And we're going to start to lift up and lift back. So move in a little bit to your back bend here. Maybe straighten the front leg a little bit more. Bending the back leg a little bit more. This is supposed to be, if it's really hard and wobbly, you're doing it right. Good. Leaning back. And then come back up to upright. Take an inhale here. And then bring the hands back down to the ground. Now everyone come forward to plank. In one straight line, bend the elbows and come down to the ground. And then make a little pillow with your hands. Rest your head. Maybe you'd like to move the hips a bit from side to side. Good, and then reach your arms forward. Take your forehead down to the ground if you can, if it feels okay for your neck. And then we're going to lift the right leg up and the left arm. And just hold it here. Have a feeling that the left arm wants to pull forward and the right foot wants to pull back. And then release that down. We switch sides. Left leg lifts up. Right arm lifts up. And again, it's not so much the lifting up that is important, but the lifting up and drawing forward and back. Good, and then hands and legs down. Bring the hands close to the chest. And just lift up to all fours and back to child's pose. Take your big toes together and the knees a little bit wider. Relax your head down onto the floor. Relax the elbows, relax the arms. You can also reach your arms back along the side of the body. And the same thing that we did in puppy pose just a while ago. Come up onto your fingertips. Lift the arms away from the ground. And then push into the fingertips and into the hands. And try to push your bum closer to the heels. So this is a rather active child's pose. Good, and then place your hands back down, coming up to all fours, tucking the toes under, lifting back to downward facing dog. And lift the right leg up behind you. We're gonna open the hips, so reach that right leg up as high as you want. You can bend the knee, and you can look out under the right armpit. And then we square off the hips again. Draw the right knee into the chest. Hold. Round your back. Lift that right knee up as high as you can. And then just put the foot down wherever it lands. And then lift the right foot up the last way with your hands. Now spin the side or a little bit in a 45-degree angle up towards you. We reach the arms out to the side. We bend that front knee. And we try to keep upright in this pose. So we're not leaning forward. We're not leaning back. We're definitely not leaning forward here. So try to be upright here. Someone should be able to place a book on the top of your head, and you can perfectly balance it there. Take the right arm underneath the left. Right arm underneath left, and then bring the hands together if you can. Otherwise, you can also just bring the backs of the hands together. And then from here, keep holding the pose. You want to tuck the chin in a little bit, and then you want to draw the shoulder blades down and away from you. So there's a lot of things happening here. And what we're looking for is ideally a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. So this part here really opens up. How are those legs doing? I know, we're still in this warrior two, aren't we? And then release. Arms stretch out to the sides. And then straighten the front leg. We're gonna wiggle the back foot in a little bit for a pose called triangle pose. Now, I want you to take the left hand to the hip. Reach forward and lean forward with the right arm. Try to stay long in the left side. Take the right hand down to the leg and reach the left arm up. It's into a bend here. We're trying to keep the spine long. So technically the top of the head and the left heel should be in one straight line. Even if that means that your right hand is quite high up onto the right leg. You can turn your head to look towards the left hand. And then we re-bend the right knee. We wiggle the back foot a little bit back. We open up into warrior two. And then we find our way back to downward facing dog. Maybe you have it in you to do a vinyasa, coming forward to plank, lowering down to the ground, doing a little cobra, inhale, back to the ground, push up over hands and knees, and back to downward facing dog. And then this time it's the left leg that lifts up behind you. So lift the left leg up behind you. And then open up the hips, meaning you stack the left hip on top of the right. You bend the left knee, and now the left knee is the highest point. You look out underneath your left armpit. And then you square off the hips. You step the left foot forward. You take the right heel down. And you find your way up to warrior two. And then reach the arms forward. Now take the left arm underneath. Actually, is this the way we did it? Yeah, it probably is. Left arm underneath. Pretzel the hands together. Again, try to move the elbows away from you. Lift the hands up and away from the face. tucking the chin in a little bit, and then letting the shoulder blades drop down. Nice, nice opening for the space between the shoulder blades. Keep holding that pose in the legs. Of course, if you need to do a quick little straightening between, you can. And then open the arms wide again. And then straighten the front leg. Wiggle the back foot in a little bit closer. Right hand to right hip. Lean forward with the left hand and the upper body. Try to keep a straight line here. And then take the hand down to the leg and the right arm up. Maybe your eyes can follow and look up. Otherwise, you can always look straight forward. And maybe I forgot to tell you, but there's often a little bit of sweating in my classes. So if you're feeling a little bit warm now, and you're worried that maybe you will have some sore muscles tomorrow, then yeah, that's the way it is. Bend the front knee again, lift up into your warrior two, wiggle the back foot a bit back, inhale here, and then wheel back, downward facing dog. Maybe another vinyasa in between. Maybe you feel like doing another child's pose. You can do another child's pose. Good. Whenever you sit back onto your knees. Take your knees down to the ground. And then sit back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to come lying down onto the belly. And we're again going to take the right arm out into a cactus arm shape on the floor. And we're going to lift the hand up a little bit more. And then we're going to roll over to the right side and get a nice opening here in the front, the chest. So just follow my lead. Downward facing dog again, please. And then come forward to plank. Whichever way you want to come down lying onto your belly. Release the toes. And now, cactus arm, right arm straight out to the side. And then slide the right hand a little bit further up, right? So the elbow is not going straight out to the side, it's actually going a little bit further and diagonally away from you. Good. Take the left hand to your left side, push into the left hand and start rolling over to the right side of the body. You can bend your knees here if you want to. You can place the left toes behind you, or you can just keep the knees together. Bring the head down to the ground and try to tuck the chin in a little bit closer to the chest. So don't try to keep the head up high and away from you, rather tucking the chin in a little bit closer, because this can be super tense, super tight for the neck. So just make sure that you have the space that you need there. Stay here and breathe. And you can use the left hand to push in a little bit more into the ground, rolling a little bit over to the side. Now, some people can roll so far that they can take the left hand behind and reach it down onto the floor behind them. That might not be you, and that is definitely not me. And the good thing about these online classes is that no one can really see you, and you cannot compare yourself to others, which is actually quite helpful. Then very, very slowly roll out. Oh, super slow, super, super slow. Come back to lying on your belly for a moment. Do whatever you need to do to that right arm. And just, I don't know, come alive a little bit again. Give it a little bit of a pep talk, perhaps. Because Maybe that's what it wants most of all. A little pep talk. Okay, now we're gonna do the left side. So left arm goes out to the side in a cactus arm, then slide the left hand a little bit further up, and then push into the right hand and roll over to the left side of your body, or as far as you can go. You might find the stretch very, very quickly, or you might have to roll a little bit further to find it. You can bend the knees into the chest, or you can lift the right leg up and place the right toes behind you. Whatever your body allows here. And try to remember to not strive to push the head back. Fold the head in a little bit. Take one more inhale here. And a long exhale to sigh it out. And slowly roll back onto your belly. Maybe just leave that left arm in space for a moment. Until it feels like it's ready to move. Push yourself up. We're gonna come to sitting, so swing your legs forward. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of a forward fold here. Like I said earlier, if you are tight in the hips, it's really nice to sit up on something, a folded blanket, a nice sturdy pillow, whatever it is, just coming up a little bit higher. We're gonna reach the right leg out to the side, so away from you, and you're gonna fold the left foot in and point the left knee away to the other side. So good. So this is not a 90-degree angle. The left knee is not pointing straight forward. It's actually pointing out to the side. Good. And then maybe you put your hands onto the ground. You lift your hips up a little bit. You bring them back down onto the ground again. And then we're going to fold right forward, basically, between your legs. Take your fingertips to the ground. Try to see if you can draw your chest forward, keeping the back long, and then walking the fingertips even a little bit further forward. Clawing into the ground, drawing yourself forward and folding a little bit more. And only then do you lift the hands up and walk them forward again. The right foot back, so don't worry if the right toes fold in. Actually make the right foot fold in a little bit. So keep walking forward here, trying to keep a long back, trying to keep your arms straight. Can or want to. And then push into your hands again. Walk your hands back. And then take the hands behind you and just lean back. This is automatically going to draw the legs together again. Okay, are we ready for the other side? Let's do it. Left leg stretches out to the side. Right foot folds in. Lift your hips up a little bit. And then sit yourself back down again. And then take your hands in front of you. Try to lengthen in the back as much as you can. And then walk the hands a little bit further forward. Drawing yourself forward. So really use the arms to try to claw and draw yourself forward, right? And now it might be the left foot that folds in a little bit. Let it fold in. That will open up the space in the back, give you more leverage to fold a little bit further forward here. So keep lengthening, Keep drawing forward and keep folding a little bit. And only then do you walk the fingertips further forward and fold a little bit more. We're taking our time, we're listening to the ability of the body that we have. And then at the very end, allow for the back to round, fold down in whichever way you like. And then walk your hands back all the way up to sitting again. Take the hands behind you, lean back. And let the legs come out of the situation. Okay, we're gonna lie down. We're getting close to the end. You've done well. Okay, lie down onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Knees draw into the chest. And then place the feet, or place the left foot on the floor and take the right ankle over the left knee. We're going to do a thread the needle, figure 4 stretch here. Bringing the right arm and hand in between the legs, holding onto the left knee or the back of the left leg, whatever you can find. Lifting that left foot away from the floor, drawing the left knee into the chest and folding the right knee out to the side. Let anything else that is not working here in this pose relax. So that includes your face and potentially the left foot. And then we're going to turn this a little bit into a twisting action. So release your hands. Maybe reach your arms out to the side, still holding the legs where they are if possible. And then just lower everything to the left side. So the left knee and the right foot comes down to the left side. And here's where you again can place the left foot on top of the left hand on top of the right foot, only to hold on to it. So now, not only are we stretching on the side of the hip, but we're also twisting. And maybe if you'd like to let go a little bit more of the stretch and focus a little bit more on the twist, you can do so by just taking the right foot away, placing the knees together, and just letting the legs relax a little bit more, and instead twisting a little bit extra. And then lifting back up to center again. One leg, right knee into the chest. So right knee tries to come closer to the chest at the same time as the left knee tries to fold out towards the left side and open away from you. And again, see what kind of places you can relax in your face. And make sure that the right foot is into more of a twist. Undo the arms, stretch the arms out to the side, and just lower the left foot and the right knee to the right. And then maybe you hold on to the foot with the right hand, just so that it doesn't slide away from you. It has a tendency to want to leave. And now there might be even more of a stretch going on the left side of the hip. And if you love this stretch, you can stay here stretching. If you don't love it as much, you can instead move in more to the twisting part of this pose. So just placing the knees on top of one another. One more little squeeze of the knees into the chest. Feel the whole back on the ground. And then it is time to on the floor, either with the knees pointing straight up or the knees folding in towards one another. You can move your arms a little bit further away from your body and turn the palms to face up if that's comfortable for you. And then close your eyes here. Take a deep, deep inhale through the nose. Hold your breath for a moment. Take another little sip of air in. Fill up the lungs a little bit more. And then open your mouth and sigh it all out in one long, slow exhale. Now, please just stay here, relax for a few minutes. I will keep an eye Start to deepen your breath. And start to move your body. Start with very small movements. Then maybe a little bit bigger. And then maybe eventually you'd like to stretch your arms up and over the head, stretching out long. And then draw the knees into the chest. Roll to the side. And then come back up to sitting. Try to keep your eyes closed. And then bring your hands together in front of the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much, dear yogis, for practicing with me on this Tuesday night. We're always going to practice here in my YouTube studio Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7. And I will post the link on Tuesday afternoon on my Facebook and Instagram page. So I'm going to let you leave first, because the minute I end this live stream, YouTube has a tendency to start displaying another channel to you, and that might not be what you want right now. So I will stay for a while. Thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.